Is a Nikola Vucevic trade happening? That's what we're going to discuss on today's edition of Warriors Today, as an NBA insider revealed new information regarding a trade between Golden State and Chicago for the former All-Star center. We're going to talk about that on today's show, but before we do, I was challenged by Marshall Green of Knicks Now here at Chat Sports. He bet me that Dub Nation couldn't compile 500 likes on this video. I said, Marshall, do you even know Dub Nation? They can get this done, no problem. So to prove Marshall Green wrong at Knicks Now, because we hate him and we hate the Knicks, make sure you hit that thumbs up icon on today's video, and we'll get started with the report from an NBA insider, Marc Stein, who did say that the Bulls continue to seek a first-round pick in exchange for Nikola Vucevic, the former All-Star center. The Warriors have been at the front of the line in terms of potential Vucevic suitors for week, but mirrored in a 10-20 funk that had him stuck at a lowly number 11 in the Western Conference entering Monday's play, have to date been unwilling to surrender more than second-round draft capital. Now, I'm not going to sit here and act like Golden State isn't doing the right thing here. The Golden State Warriors cannot give up a first-round pick for Nikola Vucevic at this time. I think it would be completely silly. Nikola Vucevic, 34 years old. And is he going to be someone who takes Golden State over the top? I don't think so. And Mike Dunleavy will talk about a quote from the past from him. Golden State wouldn't really get further along in a pursuit of a championship if they were to trade for Nikola Vucevic. But I do think that a trade could make sense for the right price. I mean, obviously Golden State shouldn't give away a first-round pick because it could very well be in the top 10 of the 2025 NBA draft. But I do kind of want to see more entertaining Golden State Warriors basketball. Like I don't want to see the same old song and dance for another 40 games. So could a trade for Nikola Vucevic be worth it? Because he provides a different element that this Golden State offense lacks at this point, which is three-point shooting and floor spacing at that 5 position. He's also a great back-to-the-basket player. He's also an elite rebounder. So these are all things that Golden State really lacks in their lineup right now. And trading for Nikola Vucevic could be worth it because he's a walking 20-10. If you just want better product on the basketball floor, I think that trading for Vooch would be the right move. He's averaging 20-10 this season. 41% from the three-point line is just something that this team doesn't have right now in a 7-footer, and he could provide that. Is he a stick on defense? Yes. Is he a total traffic cone out there? Probably. And do you want him switched on in a high pick-and-roll scenario defensively? No. But at the same time, he could provide an offensive spark that this team currently doesn't have with them right now. They've struggled as of late to find consistent scoring on the roster. And you know what? That's just a crush that this team has at this point. They didn't make the moves that were presented to them in the offseason, and now they're reaping the consequences of those actions. So let me know, should Golden State make a trade for Nikola Vucevic? Type T for trade, type P for pass. This will be the pinned comment on today's video. So let me know what Dub Nation has to say about trading for Vooch or not. The Golden State Warriors, I would say yes, make the trade. And I'll explain more why that is in just a little bit. But the Warriors might feel comfortable not doing this trade because they have a player on the roster right now who could potentially fill that role that Nikola Vucevic would play for Golden State. And obviously we know that's Quinten Post, who has seen action in this Warriors rotation over the past couple of games. He's made the most of his opportunity, and he's played really well in those stints. Could he be someone that Golden State feels like they don't have to trade Vucevic for because he provides that 5-out spacing at the center spot? Over the last 2 games that Quinten Post has played for Golden State, elite. 28 points in 21.5 minutes per game, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, but the efficiency is where it really shines. 7 of 15 from three-point range. That's over 40%. 10 of 19 from the field, over 50%. And he was getting good looks at the rim. He was not afraid to take that outside shot, which is his strong suit. So I'm glad to know that he doesn't lack confidence in this Warriors lineup. And you know what? I think he could be a player for Golden State long term. But I think that a Nikola Vucevic trade could actually help Quinten Post's long-term future with the Golden State Warriors. Trading for Vooch would give you an opportunity to have a mentor right there in front of Quinten Post, somebody that he can model his game around, somebody that he could aspire to be production-wise long-term. So why would a trade hurt Golden State right now? I don't really see many negatives to it unless you were, kind of swooned into giving away a first-round pick in the deal. I don't think Golden State should do that, and I don't think that they will do that, because remember what Mike Dunleavy said way back when. He said there's no point in going all in to be slightly above average. We're probably as impatient a team as there is in the NBA, but there's a fine line between impatience and undisciplined. So like that tells me that Golden State's not going to make a swing deal for Nikola Vucevic if the first round pick is the deal breaker. And you know what? If a team offers Chicago a first round pick for Vuce, so be it. Like I think Golden State will be fine whether or not they do trade for Vuce or not, because the result isn't going to be all that different when it comes down to what the result of this Golden State Warriors season is going to be. And it's probably going to be missing the playoffs, whether that's making the play-in and losing or missing the play-in altogether, as they are in the 11th seed right now outside of the play-in tournament. I don't think Nikola Vucevic would make a difference on where this Warriors season ends up. But it would be probably more entertaining basketball for the time being. And this is the mock trade idea that I came up with as to what Golden State is probably offering to Chicago right now. But maybe I'm a little bit overzealous here, as Moses Moody probably isn't up in this trade talk right now, or else Chicago probably would have done it. That's kind of the first round player that they're looking for in a deal for Vuce. Is Golden State going to offer him up after he's had a couple of good games over the past couple of... Maybe, but I doubt it right now. They just gave him a contract extension, and although that he's not a mainstay in the rotation, especially when Golden State is fully healthy, there's an opportunity that Mike Dunleavy, Steve Kerr would be okay parting with him in a Vuce deal, but I could also see them wanting to keep the guy as they just have locked him up for long term. Would you guys accept this trade? Let me know down in the comments section if you guys would take Vucevic and Torrey Craig from Moody, Kyle Anderson, Looney, and a couple second-round picks. Next, we're going to talk about how the rest of the season looks for the Golden State Warriors, whether it's a Jonathan Kuminga injury update or the upcoming schedule. We'll dive into all that in just a moment, but first, I got to give a major shout-out to today's sponsor, and that is Prize Picks. Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports platform with over 10 million active members. And you can get started today with a free $50 in your account when you download the app and use our promo code CLNS when you sign up and place your first $5 entry. And you might be asking me, Tyler, how do you even place an entry on Prize Picks? It's super simple. All you guys got to do is pick a lineup of 2 to 6 player stat projections and just pick more or less. And you can watch the real money roll in while you're watching your favorite sports. And Prize Picks is always trying to hook you guys up with incredible deals. Free squares, Taco Tuesdays where they give you discounted stat projections, Flex Fridays where they allow you to earn your money back in promo funds if your lineup does lose out. And when there's big games going on, they have big time deals, like for the big game coming up in 2 weeks. The free pick they're giving you is Patrick Mahomes more than half a passing yard. As long as he doesn't get hurt on the first play of the game, this is going to be a free square for you guys on Prize Picks. So make sure you guys go take advantage of that. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use our promo code CLNS for $50 instantly when you place your first $5 entry. You don't even need to win to receive the $50. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game. All that information is clickable down in the comment section and description of today's video. So this is a stat that came out after the Laker game, where Golden State was obviously down going into the fourth quarter, and they ended up losing the game. LeBron, Anthony Davis each went for 10 points over the final 12 minutes. Golden State is 1-20 when trailing after the third quarter. And Stephen Curry was he was baffled by this stat. He was not aware that Golden State is this bad after 3 quarters and at a deficit. This kind of plays into the trend that we've seen from Golden State in the comments that Steph made a couple of weeks ago when he said that this team isn't built to sustain big-time comebacks, and they're not, in a position to, if they fall down by 15 in the first quarter, claw their way back and end up coming out with a win in that game. They just don't have the scoring punch out there to do so. And a scoring punch that they're kind of missing right now, although I wouldn't call him some otherworldly scorer, is Jonathan Kuminga. He's been out for a couple of weeks now, and they are 4-7 since he was hurt, getting that high ankle sprain. And it's an ankle sprain that looks to be one that is pretty serious, and it's going to keep Jonathan Kuminga out longer than initially expected. He's not close to returning, guys. It's very unfortunate. Jonathan Kuminga is still, quote, weeks away from a return per Steve Kerr and Warriors insider Anthony Slater. And this is terrible, honestly, because Jonathan Kuminga was playing the best basketball of his career in the games leading up to this injury. So, of course, the worst possible time that this could happen, he goes down. Steve Kerr with more on the injury here. He said he was on a bike just now. This is after the Laker game. He has not been on the court in any capacity other than stationary shots. It's going to be some time before he comes back. And honestly, man, to put it plainly, this sucks. It sucks. Golden State is not reaping the benefits of an improved Jonathan Kuminga as the season went on in his new role, playing starter minutes off of the bench. And he was really coming along, man. His three-point volume had gone up. He was attacking the glass and really being a hustle player and earning his minutes and his stripes that way, which has been something I've been asking Jonathan Kuminga to do since the start of his career. He really didn't have that hunger to go be the first man to the basketball, whether it be a loose ball or a rebound. Now he's making that thing happen because he saw that maybe his game wasn't as polished as he would like it to be, and it's a scenario where he's got to, to get minutes, you got to play hard and you got to give 110% effort on every play. And he's doing that now. It's unfortunate that he is sidelined in this scenario. And what Golden State is really missing here is they do not get to the free throw line. They don't get a lot of looks at the rim. Their rim field goal percentage is very low. Jonathan Kuminga is a huge factor towards that. I mean, they miss his rim pressure immensely. He's the only real true slasher on this team, whether it's cutting from the baseline or taking your defender off the dribble and putting your shoulder into him, creating some separation and finishing up at the rim. Golden State misses that dearly now, and they're in a position where they can't really afford to have him out much longer, as they are 22 and 23 now, and the West standings isn't going to get any easier as the season goes on. Teams are only getting better, i.e. the Lakers, who you have a clear talent disparity against. If you look at the standings right here, LA is 4 games up on Golden State right now as they sit in the 5 seed. So it's not an unattainable goal for Golden State to eclipse the play-in tournament entirely, but the way that they're trending right now just doesn't look like that's going to be the case. They look like closer to a Spurs or a Trailblazers team right now. And it sucks, but Golden State's probably not going to win a championship this year, guys. It's very unfortunate. They do have a chance. But at the same time, do you guys consider the Golden State to be in the same category as the Kings, who have whooped on you multiple times now? The Mavs, who you did beat early in the season, but you were a different team then, and they're a different team now. The Suns, who have all the star power in the world. The Timberwolves, who have a top 10 player in the league. The Clippers, who just always seem to find a way. And then the Lakers, who absolutely just embarrassed you guys a couple of games ago. And it's not going to get any easier as the season goes on. You get a nice layup game against Utah, but is it even a layup game? I know they're not trying to win, but Golden State's not doing a good job at trying to win either. Oklahoma City, loss. Phoenix is 50-50, but I would call it a loss after they won their last matchup against the Suns. Orlando, that's a loss. Like, Utah, you get twice in this 12-game stretch, but other than that, all these games are very difficult, man. You're playing a high-powered offensive team in the Chicago Bulls. You're playing the Lakers again. You're getting Giannis. You're getting Kyrie, and I don't know if Luka will be back for that, but you never know. Houston Rockets, the second-best team in the Western Conference. Sacramento and Dallas. Again, these are elite teams that you're going to be playing over the next 12 games. And that kind of begs the question, like, is it even worth Golden State making a trade at this point? Like, they're not going to get any, at least, I mean, if you make a trade for Nikola Vucevic or something like that, like, are you the 5th seed in the Western Conference? That's a question that we really have to ask ourselves here. Let me know down in the comments if you guys agree or not. But, like, I don't necessarily think that just because the Golden State makes a trade like that, then they're going to automatically vault themselves into the top of the Western Conference, the upper echelon of teams up there. I just don't think that the Nikola Vucevic trade would guarantee that. I think it would make them better, but I don't know if it would guarantee that. And if you look at the available stars right now, we've gone down the Jimmy Butler path before. They just suspended him indefinitely. Looks like that trade's going to happen soon. Zach LaVine, Golden State's already stated they're not going to target Zach LaVine. And they've said that over a long period of time. Vucevic seems like the only available star, which I'm really just talking about box score fillers right here. Like, I wouldn't consider Zach LaVine or Vucevic a star. Zach LaVine is playing very, very good this year. But Jimmy Butler, is he a star? I don't know. None of these guys scream Kevin Durant to me. None of these guys are on Giannis Antetokounmpo's level. So what's the point in really trading for them? And I want to ask you guys quick before we move on in today's show. Like, are you okay with Golden State not making another deal? Should the Warriors make another trade this season? Let me know down in the comments section by typing Y for yes or typing N for no. I'm trying to get the pulse of Dub Nation and what they think about Golden State's trade plans. I'm iffy on this whole thing, but I lean no, honestly, right? Golden State is in a position right now where they are 11th in the West. They're half a game or so back from the ahead of the San Antonio Spurs. The half game back of 12 in the Western Conference. They might not catch the Trailblazers, the Pelicans, or the Jazz because those teams are absolute dumpster fires. And in the Jazz's case, and I'm sure the Trailblazers' case too, they're not trying to win. So Golden State is in a spot where they can secure a top 10 draft pick, maybe even a top 8 draft pick if they were to fall to that 12th seed. The top 10 in the 2025 NBA draft, I've already done some film study. They are legit. Like, there's franchise players in the top 10 of the 2025 NBA draft. And the more times you lose, I'm not saying that Golden State should tank because they're not doing a good job at trying to win games right now. Anyway, they could end up being some measly 38 and 44 team this season. But at the same time, is that even worth it? Is it worth it to have the 14th pick in the draft when you could have the 8th or the 7th pick in the draft, and there's a legit franchise player available that's going to help extend Stephen Curry's shelf life for this Warriors team? I think it's definitely something to consider. And then once that happens, Golden State could go out there and make a big-time off-season move, Whether they're, you never know who's going to be available over the summer. There's always players that are on the move over the summer. So we're going to keep you guys updated with that as we get closer and closer to the trade deadline and then closer and closer to the offseason, because honestly, that's what Golden State has to look forward to more than anything right now. Rebuilding and retooling this roster in the offseason should be the priority. I wouldn't make any hasty trades right now. And I think the front office, Steph, Draymond, Kerr, they all agree with that sentiment. There's just no use right now. And Golden State's in a position where they're not looking at the playoffs this year. We can talk about it more if you think I'm a hater or whatever. Hit me up on Twitter @Smitty@CS. I want to grow my following over there, talk to some more Warriors fans, build a little bit more of a community on social media. And then make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. We are fast approaching 72,000 subscribers right here at Warriors Today. So if you love your dubs and you love what we got going on here at the channel, covering trade rumors, news, injury updates, live shows, and more, you're going to want to hit that sub button. We'll see you guys in the next one. Let's go Dubs.